of the hardest questions I hear from parents in my practice goes something like this. Well, we want to be fair to all of our kids, but one of them has a disability and will need support for the rest of their life. Does fair mean that we split everything equally? Or does fair mean something different for our family? It's a question with real emotional weight behind it, because most parents start from the instinct that equal is the same as fair. But when one child may never be able to work, manage money, or live independently, and another child can build a career, own a home, and be financially self-sufficient, treating them the same on paper can actually create a deeply unequal outcome in real life. In this video, I want to walk you through the difference between equal and equitable inheritance, why it matters for families with a disabled child, and how to structure a plan that honors both your love for your children and the reality of their different futures. Before we dive in, if you want more estate planning and special needs content like this, there's a link to our newsletter in the description. It's one of the best ways to stay connected with practical, California-specific guidance as your family's planning needs evolve. So why does this question come up so often? Well, parents instinctively want to treat all their children the same. Equal feels fair. But when one child has a disability, equal on paper doesn't produce equal outcomes in real life. The neurotypical sibling will likely build a career, earn money, and have financial flexibility, whereas the disabled sibling may rely on family support, public benefits, and a special needs trust for the rest of their life. An equal split can leave the disabled child significantly under-resourced relative to their actual lifetime needs. So what does equitable planning actually mean? So equitable is where a plan is structured according to each child's real needs and long-term circumstances. It's not about loving one child more than another. It's about planning with fairness instead of symmetry. So this might look like a larger share going into the disabled child's special needs trust. Or if you believe the disabled child's needs will be taken care of by the regional center, you might leave less to the disabled child's special needs trust and more to the neurotypical child. It also might mean that your children receive their inheritances differently, where one child's inheritance is subject to a special needs trust, whereas another child's inheritance can go into a more flexible trust or even be distributed outright to them. So why shouldn't you leave an inheritance directly to a disabled child? Well, a direct inheritance can disqualify a disabled child from SSI, Medi-Cal, and Section 8 benefits, which are worth millions of dollars over their lifetime. A third-party special needs trust is almost always the right vehicle. It preserves eligibility and it provides the supplemental support that public benefits may not cover.
Did you know my mom has a monthly newsletter where she shares helpful information? Click below to join.
So you can have one plan, but multiple structures. So a single revocable living trust can distribute to different types of trusts for different children. Each distribution can be structured for that child's needs. The disabled child receives their inheritance into a special needs trust, and the neurotypical child can receive their inheritance outright or into a lifetime trust or a dynasty trust. And if your neurotypical child is responsible, they can act as trustee of their own trust. So the key here is coordination. The plan should function as one unified strategy. And by the way, there's other ways that you can set up things for the neurotypical siblings. You might decide on staggered distributions or discretionary trusts. We actually have a blog post where we talk about the different ways you can leave assets to individuals, and that'll be linked in our description. So this is the conversation that most families avoid, but they shouldn't. Parents often don't explain their reasoning to their adult children, and that's where resentment and sibling conflict can come from after the parents are gone. We often recommend that you have an age-appropriate conversation now, explaining why the plan is structured the way it is. And this can prevent years of hurt feelings. Also, a letter of intent can help capture your reasoning in writing if the conversation feels too hard. And I have a video just on memos of intent. So I want to tell you the story. And it's just this morning. I was talking with Isaac, my younger son. And by the way, we love having deep conversations. And he told me, Mom, I now see why you and Dad sometimes pay more attention to Caleb. He's our older son, because Caleb has autism. So he needs more help with some things, and that's okay because you still love and value me. Oh, can you imagine how I felt when Isaac told me this? I felt so validated and happy. My 12-year-old son gets it. And I found that many neurotypical children of my clients similarly understand your need to focus on and care for and provide for their disabled sibling. So fair is one of the most loaded words in estate planning, especially for families with a disabled child. And there's no single right answer that works for every family. What matters is getting clarity on what actually serves each of your children and building a plan that reflects that. This is exactly the kind of work we do every day at Cookman Law. Our team specializes in estate planning and special needs planning. It's not a side practice, it's our focus. When you come in for a consultation, we'll walk you through your family's specific situation, your children's different needs, and the questions that you're wrestling with. From there, we'll walk you through the structures that might make sense. A revocable trust for you, a third-party special needs trust for a disabled child, and the right plan for your other children. And you'll leave with a clearer picture of what a successful plan for your family could look like. If you're ready to start that conversation, there's a link in the description to schedule a call with our intake team. And if you want more content like this in the meantime, hit subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video.
If this video is helpful for you, share it to someone else who might benefit from it.